Hello you. It's that time of year again to set up the Hobonichi July to December AVAC. We're going to be setting this up and I'm going to be customizing it to my use. Hopefully you can also get some inspiration, or maybe you do want to set it up the way that I do. And I'm also going to be using my own designs and own stickers. So if you want to get your hands on those, stay tuned and I'll tell you how. So let's get in with setting this up. But first things first, we need some tea. Come on. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I know it's only the end of June, but I'm kind of already craving spooky season. So I kind of want some pumpkin spice. So let's make a chai latte, shall we? Cheers. And just like that, we're all set up and ready to go. That is good tea. So I hope you've gone and grabbed yourself a snack and a little drink yourself, because we might be here a while. So I just wanted to show you, first of all, how chunky this has gotten. This is my Jan to June. The first half, I've just stuck my favourite design on the top. So as you can see, it's chunky. And I've only actually got a couple of days left on this. I've got I think 8 days to fill up and then she's done. So yeah, but look how that is compared to that. It's just mental, but I love it because she's just so fluffy and floppy. So yeah, it makes me feel proud in a way. I know it sounds daft, but you know, it feels like I've achieved something this year. I've done a lot of things this year, but that's something physical I can hold. But anyway, to setting up this. Now, I'm going to be using the nighttime version of this as the cover, which is this one. So I'm going to be using that one on there. So it's a nice symmetry because the longest day of the year is the 21st of June, which is in a couple of days. And it's only fitting that now the night time's getting darker, so it's fitting that I put the nighttime scene on this one and then the daytime one on this one, because this is when it was getting brighter from the winter. So now we're doing the opposite, and I've just realised I've cut this a bit short, but that's okay. A bit short and a bit wide for some bizarre reason, but that's okay. This design, by the way, is what I got in a Mossery box a long time ago. I'll leave the link up there in the cards if you want to check that video out, because it was a lovely box, and it's by the brand some things to keep, and also by the art of Vishram something. I'll leave the link for those people on screen, and also if I can find like their Instagram or something, I'll leave those in the description as well. So this isn't mine. The only thing I've done is moved I've scanned this in, turned it white and then stuck it there. That's all I've done on here, but this is completely their design. So yeah, props to those, because I love this design so much that I keep using it. I just love it so much. So yeah, so I'm going to be using that as my cover. And then the other thing I'm going to be using, no, in fact, let's just stick the cover on and then see where we go. Now, I like to stick the cover on with some double-sided sticky tape that I've not got out. Don't want to stick it over there because that doesn't really bend, does it? Oh, it does bend a bit. It does bend. Yeah, so let's just chop a little bit off there. By the way, I've just printed this on some HP everyday photo paper because I find that you get a better print quality sometimes when you use photo paper, but it's quite thick to use inside the Hobonichi, even though I did on occasions, which is something I'm going to try and avoid this year, for the rest of the year. See, this is another reason why I like the AVAC, is that it feels like a new year because we're starting a new book, even though it's the middle of the year. So I kind of like that feeling. Yeah, so as you can see, I only put double-sided sticky tape on the lengths rather than fully round, so it still allows air, and plus I could always secretly hide something in there. And then I'm just gonna go around this corner here. Now we've got the top corner there, because chances are what I'll probably do is put this cover on there anyway, so it'll stop it from getting scratched. I am a little bit annoyed by this. This is the Midori cover, but it's got scratched so easily, and it picks up all sorts of dust and grime, so I might not actually put that cover on now that I'm thinking about it. That's something to think about for later. But yeah, back to the setup. So we've got our cover. I am actually going to do something with this inner cover, as I call it. I printed off the drawing version of that because I thought it was nice to sort of have like an x-ray vision of the sketch, and then also a quote that I've paraphrased because it normally says music is the moonlight in the gloomy night of life, but I like to use the word creativity, so I put that it's paraphrased from Jean-Paul. And I've printed these on clear glossy sticker paper, so I would love to be able to get my hands on some clear matte paper, but I've yet to discover that. So I'm just going to cut these out. This is for a setup later on. That is my own design. These two are not. Well, that's my own font that I've used, my own fonts, but obviously it's not my quote. And this is obviously from the same people. Some things to keep. And there we go. Doesn't that look pretty cool? I like it. And I like it because it's also shining the light on the Hobonichi. And then I just want to put this quote on there. I'm just going to cut out the other sticker as well for later. Cool. So yeah, that's my inner cover. Now to the calendars. So let's have a little discussion about my stickers, even though they're not technically stickers because I've printed them on Tomorrow paper because I wanted to keep them as thin as possible. And there is a difference in the cream paper and the white paper of Tomorrow. Because to me this isn't white. Even that's whiter than that. So I thought that was like a cream, but it's like an off-white. But anyway, I digress. Back to my design. So I've created these stickers, designs I should say, rather than stickers, for what I'm going to do with different pages. If you'd like to get your hands on these, I'm going to put them on my Patreon, but you need to be a free member to have access to them. So they'll be free for you, but you need to join my Patreon in order to get them. But that's on the free tier, rather than me putting them in the shop. So I'd rather you guys have these for free if you want them. But yeah, I'm starting to fill in my Patreon now with all sorts of bits and bobs. I've got some photography stuff on there. I'm discussing some of my final work that I've been doing. And then I want to put a lot more sort of behind the scenes sort of stuff. So basically with my Patreon, what I'm hoping to do with it is use it like a blog system, and then also put ideas on there that I can't either make into a video, or I want to make into a video but don't have time to. And also just a direct way of being able to communicate with you guys, because if you join my Patreon, you can direct message me straight away on there, and you can join the group chat as well. And then of course I'll be giving away freebies of stuff like this as well. And then as time goes on, I'm going to start adding more and more stuff. So if you want to follow along more with what I'm doing, rather than just waiting for me to release a video, feel free to join. I'd love to have you and get to know you guys a bit better. But yeah, so if you want to get your hands on this, just join my free tier and it'll be there. So on here I've got tabs for the different calendars. I'm not going to tell you what they are because you're going to see me use them in my planner. So first up, normally with this calendar, I'll show you what I did last year, which is basically last year. I keep saying last year, I mean earlier in the year. Basically, I didn't use it apart from putting the bank holidays in. So I wanted to make it a more functional piece. So what I'm going to do is cut this out, and I'm going to have this section here for important dates for July to December. And then you're still going to have the calendar at the bottom. So let's just cut that to thing. And I've just realised there's a misprint there for some reason. But that's okay, this is mine. So I will make sure that it's not on the one that you guys are going to download. Yeah, that should go over there. But yeah, I've used Tomorrow paper because as I said, I want to try and this half of the year to bulk up my planner, but not with paper stuffs. So I want to try and minimize that as much as possible. So that's why I'm using Tomorrow paper, and in fact, I just love writing on the Tomorrow paper. So let's glue that in position. This has now officially become basically my glue board. Someone pointed out that was quite weird that I do that I go around the edges and then put an X in the middle, but I thought it was quite common. Well, not common, but normal. But apparently not. So let's try and line this up best we can. further on. Don't forget to stay hydrated. So these that I'm cutting out now are just some date stickers that I've made, and what I've done is I've photographed some masking tape offcuts and sort of distressed them a little bit, and then I've put my own font with the months and the days to cover up these ones. I mean, you could keep them as they are. I mean, they say what month it is and what day it is, etc. But I just wanted to have my own little stickers. And just to also bring a bit more visual interest. Because I think that's one reason why I didn't use it, is it's just a page of numbers. My brain automatically just switches off from that. Yeah, so I need some visual interest. October. Let me know in the comments below who is just like done with summer already and is just like waiting for September and October for the spooky seasons. It was funny, I saw a meme the other day about how us sort of like Gen Z millennial sort of types are programmed to like the spooky macabre because of the amount of children's programs that we had on Nickelodeon and all that sort of stuff. And it was so relatable because I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So we like had no choice but to be like a lot of spooky stuff. Ta-da! Doesn't that look pretty cool? I like it. And the fact that it's the Tomorrow paper, it's so flat against the page that it just looks like it was always meant to be there. You see? But yeah. I should have cut that off a little bit more, but oh well. So then the other page that I'm going to do with this side, because obviously they're the months that we've still got left of the year, and then I'm just going to leave that blank for any important dates that I need to write down. But then I don't need 2023, that's gone. 2025, I do sort of look ahead a little bit because I know there's certain things, especially in February for some reason. Normally February is a quiet month for me, but for some reason next year, February, I've got lots of stuff to do. But what I primarily do is just write it literally, say February 4th, this, that and the other. I don't, because all you can do on this is really dot them and circle them. Then you have to go and look up what they mean. It's just too cumbersome like that. So what I've decided to do with this page is have a planner intentions page. This needs a little bit cutting off it as well on the top and the bottom. And I'm just going to write my intentions and what I'm excited about for the seasons, because I've realised I am very much a seasonal girl. Even summer, which is my least favourite season, I've noticed that I've started to get excited to go to the beach next month and stuff like that. So even though it's the UK, you know. When I say beach, I mean a bit of sand and some ocean. That's it. And maybe an ice cream. Oh, and getting attacked by the seagulls. That in itself is a challenge. So, yeah, I very much realised I'm a seasonal girl. So let's just take a little bit off. Isn't that going so well? It's going so wrinkly. That's the only problem with the Tomorrow paper, is because it is so thin, it is easy to sort of get wrinkled when you didn't mean it to. God, God, I feel like I'm wallpapering again on the Mickey, on the Disney doll's house. That has not gone too well. Yeah, I think if I'm doing a full page, I definitely need to use something thicker than Tomorrow paper. That is horrible. It's just funny. So yeah, as I said, I'm gonna write my intentions for what I'm intending to do with this, and look back at the end of the year and see if I stuck to it, and then also about my seasonal aspirations. So I'm gonna write on there, and then probably add a little bit of a flourish on there. So yeah. So, what do I want to do with my calendars? So basically this one's going to be used as an index. Shock horror, I know. Okay, so that's it for the index. Again, just adding a little bit more visual interest. Because it's basically going to be the same system as what I had last year, but look how chaotic that is. So I just need a little bit of visual interest just to break it up. I realized that I wrote my font on there. I think I'll do that next year, as well as this bit here. So it's going to be the same thing for each daily page that I fill. I'll color code it and sort of have a brief reference of what it is. And then these will be my colour codes, like at the bottom here. Now I am gonna redo these because I've realised some of them I'm not using. So I can slim them down to not be so many. Now the next page is another calendar page, but for 2025. And I did a trackers one, but as you can see, I did not use it. So this time round, I'm going to use it as a way of tracking the time that I'm using each day of how long I'm working on content creation, in art and that sort of stuff. So I've got these stickers for it, and what I've done is I've scanned in this page, so I'm going to stick those dates on the top here so they match up. And then also the dates here, so they match up to the correct dates as well. So let's get on with that. Perhaps using Tomorrow paper was perhaps not the best thing to do. But we'll see. We shall see. But as I said, you guys can print this on any paper that you guys want. As you can see, I'm struggling a bit with the Tomorrow paper. So I perhaps wouldn't recommend Tomorrow paper. But normal print paper will be fine, because that's quite thin anyway. It doesn't add too much bulk. Or you can do it straight onto sticker paper. I'll leave a link actually for some sticker paper down below from Amazon. I'll leave a link to two. I'll use the one that I use from Epson, which I really love, but I understand a lot of people don't have Epson printers and they might not want to use it. And then I'll use it, and then I'll also put like a generic one on, which I have been using in the past, but I do prefer the Epson one. The paper just seems to talk to the printer better than generic papers. So I think you get a finer print. But you know, at the end of the day, this is just for journaling. It's not for museum, you know, final work or anything like that. So it shouldn't be, you know, you don't have to spend too much money is what I'm trying to say. Or even any money. You could just use a normal notebook and a pen. Just a biro or a pencil or whatever you want to use. It's just I am a sucker for aesthetic stuff. And I think a lot of us are, which is hence why these videos are very popular. Glue everywhere. Definitely. When I do this again in the new year for my new Hobonichi 2025, I will definitely be using sticker paper. Now there's an idea for tomorrow. Release some sticker paper with Tomorrow paper. I don't know how that would quite work with it being so thin, but I don't know. It might work. So basically I'm going to use this is each day. It's going to coincide with what I'm going to do with my weeklies, which I'll show you in a second. But it's going to be like a bar chart of how many hours I've spent each day. And then I'm just going to have these little notes, so I can write down notes of like how much I've spent on something on one particular month. I know it will be dependent on what projects I'm working on, but I just want to I'm basically trying to work out where all my time goes, because I feel like I'm losing losing my sense of time. So I just want to try and figure that out. But you can use this page for anything, really, for whatever you want to track, because it is kind of the perfect trackers page. Alright, so that is that page. I am liking how it's looking, but I am definitely regretting not using sticker paper. I think it would have just been so much easier as well. And definitely using some different paper on that one. But hey ho. So next up is our monthlies. So we've got June till I think February, or is it January? Probably January. Yeah, till January 2025. Now, I'm not going to do too much of these because I will fill these in as and when, because I do use them as like appointments and all that kind of thing. But I have, on the freebie thing, I've printed these off. So you've got notes, to do, actions, goals, migrate and spending. What I mean by migrate is I usually like to have a little spot, usually at the bottom, just to say this needs to be migrated into next month, so the project's continuing on, or I need to do this for next month, even though I'm doing bits in this month as well. So it just helps me for when I'm looking back, planning out the next month of what I need to focus on. Spending is just keeping an eye on your spending, any goals that you want to achieve or actions you need to do this month, or a general to-do list, and then of course another notes thing, so you can cut those out and stick them as you need them, like on these bars here, and then decorate your monthly just as you would. I'm not going to do that just yet because I've just realised actually I have a June calendar here. I don't necessarily need it. I could have used that for something else. Plans for future years. So yeah, I'm just going to skip the monthlies because I'm not planning those out yet. But I want to go to the January one because I'm going to stick this on there. But I have printed this out on... So yeah, I printed it out on that paper as well. I think I'm going to try to stick that one in because obviously the full page of Tomorrow paper didn't go too well. But let me just show you what that paper is. This paper is the photo quality inkjet paper from Epson. And it's thin, not as thin as the Tomorrow, but it is nice and you do get really good photo quality images. As you can see, I've just realised actually this is a good comparison. Look at the quality on the Tomorrow paper to that, because this is photo quality, this isn't. So it just shows you how much difference there is. I wish they did it in an off-white or cream coloured, but they don't. Printer paper is always bright white for some bizarre reason. So I'm going to not stick that one in because, as we've proven, it goes quite wrinkly, which might be okay over time. There's me being too handy with the glue again, but it's just going to annoy me at the moment. So, and I want to show you guys that my prints are okay on other paper as well. So let's get some glue on here. What's that? I've been looking for that. I thought I printed it off. It's just a little game thing to remind me that a game's going to be released soon that I want to get my sticky hands on. Already it's going down so much better, and I've got glue on the bloody thing. What is it with me and glue? Literally get it everywhere. But at least this stuff you can just keep rolling and it eventually comes off. It's just like, why? But already that's gone down much flatter. And what I usually like to do is turn over the page and then make sure there's no wrinkles. So yeah, much better on different paper. So that's basically like a cover page, and I've realised I need to do something on that side now because I'm not going to use the January calendar. But yeah, I basically have this content chronicle. Like here I've got content log. So this is going to feed into that, or rather this is going to feed into that. Because what I do with my weeklies, instead of using it like I need to go shopping or I have a doctor's appointment, that sort of thing, because that's what I use the monthlies for. I don't need to use the weeklies for that as well. So what I like to do, let me get you, is this, which is basically time blocking me filming or researching or editing or doing other different bits for content creation, and then also some other notes about what I need to focus on that week and how many hours I've spent doing it, and then the total hours for the month. So that's what I like to do on each of these pages, but I'm not going to create stickers for this. I'm just going to fill it in with pen like I do here. And maybe some washi tapes or anything else that, you know, takes my fancy or I think's cute. But yeah, that's how I'm going to use my weeklies. And then, as I said, that's going to feed into the log. So the results from that will then feed this and help me concise the information that I get from it. Because the weeklies also help me to plan out what I need to do for the following week in order to get videos or different projects completed. So that's that. So they're all the weeklies. Then we have this double page spread of turning the page. Now I've not done any stickers or anything for this, because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do like a dear me letter. You know, I did one at the beginning of January, on the 1st of January daily thing. I'm going to do another one here. So I'm going to look back at that, sort of say, did I do what I said I was going to do in there, and this, that and the other. So a little bit of year in review as well, I suppose you can call it as well. And then on this page, I'm going to do like a template of how I'm going to intend to use the daily pages. Because I want to try and make things more concise and look similar to one another, rather than them being all over the place like this. Because as much as I like this, I feel like it's becoming more of a scrapbook. Whereas I think if I make it more concise and more logical and try and stick to a template, it's going to make it more functional and easier for me to refer back to information than I previously have done. And also not absolutely fill every single square in my daily pages as well. Let there be space. Less is more, as they say. Or less is a bore in that case. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do with that, is a template for that, and then a dear me, and then we are off into the dailies. With my monthly sort of blank bits, I tend to just like use it as a mood board of, you know, what I think is seasonal at that time. So I'm just trying to get to one. So that's my May one. So it's very spring orientated, with some stickers from Megan Ryan and Untitled Paintings. So yeah, all sorts of bits in there. But just, you know, things that visually interest me. So lots of dailies, of course. Now the last thing I like to do, well, I'm intending to do, when I get to the page, so December 31st, then go straight onto these plain grid pages, which I am going to have a use for. Where is it? So this is basically going to be my notice board page. So yeah, quite simply, just notice board. And what this is kind of like a brain drain in a way. I did it a little bit at the beginning of my weeklies, when I was trying to work out what I was going to use my weeklies for. So yeah, I had this one before, and it's just literally put in bits of information that normally are on scraps of piece of paper on the wall. So I've basically done that, and it's just drain brain. There's some books that I want to look up and investigate a bit more, some games, some colour codes for cross stitching, you know. So it's just literally a scribble page, a notice board sort of thing. And then I realised I could use my weeklies for content creation, so I did from then on. And then on the back of this one, I've then started using it as a planning page for this, that and the other. So yeah, I'm going to use that as a notice board. And then, as you can see, what I did with this is I cut the pages out. So it's literally a grid page to the cream page at the back. I've just realised. Oh no, it does. It does have the stamp there. Oh yeah. So yeah, I usually end up cutting those out because obviously this has got chunky, and I don't really use these pages at all. I tried to at the beginning of the year with those, but it's just like I wasn't filling them, and to be honest with you, I just forget about them. So I just very, very carefully cut them out. In fact, I will do it now. I will show you. So Let's get to the middle page first. That one. So you get to this middle page where it's sewn in. So then you can easily just rip the pages out, like so. And then again. And then I'll just use these pages literally as pen testers, or just quickly, if I don't think something's going to work, I'll try it there. So that's literally all I do. And then this last page, I fold it to where it's glued. Then very carefully cut it out. Where's the knife gone? I'm always losing the knife. So just round the edge. Is that even cutting? There we go. Takes the page away. And then straight away at the back. Is that what I did with the last one? I don't seem to remember seeing the thread. That's because it's, you know, got more and more full as time's gone on. So you don't really see it. But yeah, it just frees up a little bit of space at the back. So it's preparing for the chunk out. So yeah. Oh, the other thing I like to use are these little index tabs that just stick out at the side there, but they feel so nice. They don't feel like very intrusive. So yeah, let's stick those in. I noticed last year that I'd actually stuck them in the wrong places. Last year I stuck them weirdly on, like, say, like the 5th of June instead of like June 1st. Because what you got to remember is when you flip the page over is where you'll have the tab, so you want it to land on the 1st. So yeah. So let's just stick number 7, like so. I've got a nice waterfall edge so I can quickly jump to different months if I need to. The other thing that I use are the Midori copper index tags, which are these little things, which is what I'll probably use to put on like the content on the weeklies, the monthlies and the index sort of things, and then one for the notice board at the back as well. So that is how I'm setting up my July to December Hobonichi. Even though I'm experimenting with my own commonplace, I think in 2025 I still will be using a Hobonichi, and I definitely will be using an AVAC rather than a custom. So yeah, let's just have a quick flip through. So the cover, inner cover, the calendars pages that are looking a bit raggedy. Apart from those, I'm actually really impressed by the tags there. So Tomorrow paper works for small stickers, not large pieces of paper. So I'm going to infill those. Then my index, my content, my creation log, and the monthlies, then a cover page for the Creation Chronicle, so it'll tell the story of where all my time goes, and then the dailies, and then the last one, very simple, my notice board. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you found it useful. Let me know in the comments below if you guys enjoyed this and if you want to see more stuff like this as well. Because obviously I'll be doing the 2025 one, but if there's anything you want me to add to that video, or if there's a particular layout or spread that you want me to do, please feel free to let me know and I'll try and do that, especially if it's very functional for me. I will definitely do it. With my sort of design, I've gone for like a sort of sepia vintage look with my own little flair of fonts and whatnot, which I'm quite happy with, because as I say, I want to keep it quite concise and similar to one another. So yeah, I think I'll be designing more stickers as I go along, especially when it comes to seasonal things, because I've already got a couple of things in my head that I don't want to mention yet, just in case I can't get them out in time, in finished. But again, if I do, I'll be putting them in my Patreon shop or for freebies. So yeah, definitely watch that space for stuff that I pop up, because that's a great thing with Patreon, is I can just put things up when they're done. I don't have to produce a video to explain it, so it's nice to just be able to quickly, you know, get stuff out to you guys. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Obviously, if you're a new subscriber here, please consider subscribing if you enjoyed this and want to see more. And obviously hit the bell notifications and also select all, because some people have said to me, oh, I didn't know you had a video out this week, and it's because they didn't get any notification. I don't know why it does that, why it just doesn't automatically have an all thing anyway. But yeah, that's YouTube for you. But yeah, as I said, if you want to get your hands on my stickers that I've used in here, they will be in the freebie section of my Patreon, but you do have to be a free member to get access to it. It's all free, you just need to sign up with it. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this and found it useful. Bye for now.